I'm Preeti Verghese. I'm a senior scientist now at Smith Kettlewell. One of the founders of Smith Kettlewell is Alan Scott, and I had the good fortune of meeting him in person and having many conversations with him across the lunch table. And I got to know the story behind Botox, and it's actually a really nice story. So both Alan Scott and Art Jampolsky are very famous strabismologists, that is, people who work with strabismus, which is the deviation of eyes that sometimes happens. And people come to these strabismologists to fix this deviation. And why do eyes deviate? For many reasons, but one of the things that these eye surgeons try to fix is imbalance of muscles holding the eyes in place. So if one muscle is too short and the other muscle is long, then the eye will be pulled towards one side. So what they try to do is to balance the length of these muscles. And it used to be traditionally that this was done by shortening the muscle on the side that it is too long. But then when you do that, when you go in and surgically shorten the muscle, the eye has a period of adaptation where it tries to adjust to this change. And sometimes, despite careful measurements, etc., the surgery is not successful because sometimes the surgery has overcorrected the deviation, but in the opposite direction. Alan was looking for a way to titrate this shortening, and what he came up with was an idea not to cut the muscle, but to weaken the muscle. And the way he was able to titrate this was by trying to put a toxin into the muscle, or varying amounts of toxin into the muscle, to paralyze it to varying degrees. And the toxin that he came up with is what was originally Botox. Most people associate Botox with trying to kind of make sunken cheeks look better, and there are many cosmetic uses for it. But its original purpose was to very precisely try to estimate how much a muscle strength needed to be adjusted to get the eye in alignment. So Alan Scott developed this. It's called botulinum toxin, actually. That's what Botox's full form is. And he told me how, when he first developed it, he tested it out on himself. He actually injected his underarm to see what its effect was before he started to do animal testing with it. And then finally, when it passed animal tests, it got approved by the FDA for use in humans, and Allergan bought it from him. I can't remember when, but then they popularized its use not as something to straighten eyes, but for a completely different purpose. But Alan Scott was wonderful because he was trying to address the problem that surgeons faced, which was when you try to correct this deviation, you can't really correct it by surgery. So he was looking for a way where you could carefully titrate how much you should adjust the muscle to get the eye to align.